Hello everyone, this is Tom Fox, and I'd like to welcome you to the Daily Compliance News. The Daily Compliance News is an offering of the Compliance Podcast Network. November 7th, 2018. First up is an article from the Financial Times, which details that Danske Bank chairman Ole Andersen was ousted as a result of the over $200 billion money laundering scandal that the bank has found itself embroiled in. The largest shareholder, the Maersk family trust, really led this effort. It's going to be interesting to see how the bank can revamp its culture after this all-encompassing scandal. Next up is a story from the Wall Street Journal, which is, I want to say, almost unbelievable that in this day and age, Under Armour had to tell employees that they will no longer be reimbursed for expenses incurred at strip clubs. Over the years, executives and employees of the sports apparel club went with athletes and co-workers to strip clubs after corporate and sporting events, and the company often paid for these meetings. Obviously, in the era of Me Too, this is no longer an acceptable practice. Next, for compliance practitioners out there, we have a very interesting article from the FCPA blog contributed by Kynum Creekpalm. And in this, he took a look at the recent SEC FCPA enforcement action involving Stryker, which is an FCPA recidivist. And in it, he pointed out that there were certain per diem expenses paid, which were referenced in the order. This is typically not something you see in an FCPA enforcement action, and the per diem expenses were paid for Kuwaiti healthcare providers to attend Stryker events, where Stryker had paid directly the cost for lodging, meals, and entertainment. It's not clear from the order what the per diems were paid for, and the only information was the aggregate total of $32,000 over a 3-year period. Nevertheless, he correctly points out that per diem expenses need to be controlled and they need to be monitored in your compliance program. You can certainly pay per diem expenses, and he makes that clear in his article, yet you need to do it at a reasonable level, say $50 or $100 per day, and you need to have a receipt provided to justify the expense. Our final article comes to us from the BBC Online, and it is about the arrest of the woman Zamira Hajiva, who received the first unexplained wealth order hearing in London, where she had to explain the source of her $15 million house and her multi-million dollars of expenses paid at Harrods. She was arrested via a warrant issued by the Azerbaijani government. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to her on a go-forward basis. This is Tom Fox. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Daily Compliance News. And I hope you will check back every day as I go through some of the top stories. Once again, if this is a series that you enjoy or like or you find useful, I hope you will let me know as I consider whether I will move this forward into 2019. Please give me an email at tfox@tfoxlaw.com, or you can leave a comment on any of the sites where I list this podcast. Thanks again, and I hope you'll join me tomorrow for the Daily Compliance News.